So good. Connection is up. Alright, let's see if we can do this. Oh, lighting's not too bad either. Oh, even better. Okay, cool. Alright. Hey people. Out here in Phoenix. I'm actually outside in our I'm outside of our apartment where we normally are, or where we stay when we're in Phoenix. So it's gonna be cold. I think it's supposed to be like 50 degrees tonight. So I'm thinking that hopefully this will be one of my shorter videos. So it's 10 o'clock. Yeah, it's 11 o'clock. It's 11 o'clock in Houston. So cool. So I think I'll get started. First thing, Frankie, am I sideways? What the hell? Let me see. Is that better? Is that better, Frankie? There we go. All right, let's try this. What? Frankie, is that better? Is it better now? Is it good to go? Let's see what happens. All right, Jennifer. Jennifer's in the building. I appreciate you. It's sideways again. What? What the hell, man? Let me see if that works. Is that better? Okay, cool. We're gonna see if this works. Is that better? Okay, I think. Okay, cool. All right, so first time home buying. All right, thanks. Good. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you, Frankie, because I didn't know what was going on. All right, cool. I'm leaving just like this. So again, I'm in Phoenix. It's pretty cold out here. I'm actually outside on the balcony. Mary and Harper are trying to sleep. Actually, Harper is actually up, running around inside for some reason, but it's late, so that's funny. Anyway, so what I wanted to talk about tonight was basically just kind of the home buying process, where to start, who to contact, what you need. Hopefully I'll get some questions as we go along. Hopefully Edie shows up. I know Edie wanted me to do this. So what I'll start with is basically the home buying process from the jump. So from the beginning, hey Jaya, from the beginning, what you first want to do is kind of figure out what you have. Hey Sean, what's going on, man? Kind of figure out where you are. You want to definitely get the financial part of your oh good, there you are, Edie. Get the financial part of what you are looking for in line, meaning you want to talk to a lender. I really have a good one, Jennifer, who's in here watching. She's really good, but you want to get yourself in contact with a lender and find out exactly where you are in terms of your finances, what you can afford, what your credit score is, how your credit score will affect you. And then hopefully, if your lender is good, what they'll have is all the options that are there for you, whether it's going to be an FHA loan that you're going to be able to use. If you maybe qualify for in a conventional loan is a better way to go. Things of that nature. What I wanted to talk about more specifically for people who maybe don't have, a whole bunch of money or don't have, or, are looking for a first-time home, a beginner's home. There's a lot of programs out there that are available to you. A lot of times lenders will know about these things. Hopefully your realtor that you're working with will know about some of them, or at least be able to point you in the direction that you can get access to them. So that's kind of what I wanted to touch on to begin with, besides the fact, that you need to know where you stand in terms of your credit and your finances, what you will be approved for. You definitely want to know what's out there in terms of access to financial grants. There's a lot of good programs out there. I'm going to kind of run through them. If you want me to like type them on here or something like that, I will answer them probably afterwards and put the actual websites up there. But the Texas State Affordable Housing Corporation, they have a website, www.tsahc.org, is a great place to start. They have a lot of information about grants that are available to you. And loan and down payment assistance programs. They have programs that will help you kind of get credit for your taxes that you're going to pay on your home. They have down payment assistance programs that you can look into and see if you qualify for. Off the top, if you are a teacher, a firefighter, basically any type of public servant, a veteran, or if you are in a low to moderate income range, there's going to be a lot of opportunities for you to qualify for certain grants, which, just make sure we all understand, grants mean you don't have to pay anything back. It's just money that's going to be given to you, which is really, really cool. One of those things is the TMP 79. It's called My First Texas Home program. They will help you get better interest rates in terms of what your loan interest rates will be, and they provide down payment assistance and closing cost assistance up to 5% of the mortgage loan, which is really cool. So that's out there. There's a couple other programs out there. If you, I don't know what that was. Sorry guys. Somehow my Facebook Live paused for some reason. Anyway, so if you have questions about those things, if you want to know what those websites are, just put a little like or something like that, and I'll make sure. Hey Marie, I'll make sure that I drop those links for you, where you can go out and find a little bit more information about down payment assistance programs and closing cost programs and all those kinds of things out like that. So once you kind of figure out, when you get with a loan officer, a lender, and there's plenty of options out there for lending. Okay, I'll put them. I'll drop them in here afterwards, Jay. Matter of fact, I'll just put them underneath your comments. So, and then I'll drop them again. But there's plenty of opportunities out there for you to, a lot of people ask, where can I go get it? Where can I find a loan? Where can I get a loan? So there's quite a few options that are out there. First, mortgage brokers. Those are people who go out and kind of do the legwork in terms of finding the best offers that are out there for you. You have credit unions, which are good options. There's big banks, obviously. Everyone knows about Wells Fargo, Chase, and stuff like that. I personally don't like using them, because you're just kind of like a number in those situations. So I prefer to go with credit unions, mortgage brokers, or if you work for a really good company, sometimes they have lenders that they work with that kind of cater to their employees, which is also a great option as well. So those are out there. So there's plenty of options out there in terms of looking on who you can go to get a loan. I'm a big believer in, you want to kind of get a couple options out there so that you can kind of get yourself in a competitive situation where lenders are kind of competing for your business, and you want to make sure that you're getting the best possible deal that's out there. If you have a good mortgage broker, then they will invite the competition, because they want to be the best. So don't be afraid to get out there and ask lenders to compete for your business. Quicken Loans is even pretty cool. Hey Antonique, appreciate you stopping by. There's plenty of Quicken Loans is good even. Actually, they're getting a lot better. I know I've seen a lot of commercials for Rocket Mortgage. I don't really know too much about Rocket Mortgage, but I've heard a couple things about them being a decent lending product, so you can check them out as well. So there's plenty of lenders. One of the questions that I often get is, but if you go out and you have lenders run your credit, then it hurts your credit score. And I'm going to pull up the website because people don't believe me when I say this, but whenever you're looking for a big purchase, either where it's like a car or a house or something like that, there's a window that's set up within your credits. I think it's like a 30-day period. Jennifer, if you're still there, maybe you can back me up on this. But there's a period where you can go out and have people, check your credit to see what kind of what kind of loan you can get, and those inquiries on your credit don't affect your credit score. I want to say it's like a 30-day period or something like that. While I'm looking around over here, I'll see if I can find out exactly what that is. But a lot of people get worried about going out and having multiple people check their credit for something like a big purchase, like a car or a house, thinking that it's going to affect their credit score, when in actuality it doesn't. So don't be afraid to when you're in the market to buy something big, go out and get a couple different people looking at your to see what they can offer you in terms of lending products, because again, you want to get the best rate possible, because every percentage point is a huge difference in your payments, and it costs a lot of money if you just try to stick with just one person. So don't do that. Go out and get multiple opportunities or search for multiple opportunities to get a good loan rate for something like a home, or even a car for that matter, maybe even a refrigerator, or appliances, whatever it is. So don't be afraid to do that. Another question I oftentimes get is but what if my credit isn't good, or what if I need to have some things cleaned up on my credit? There are definitely credit repair programs and credit repair not programs, but credit repair people that can help you do that. You just have to be careful and make sure that you're dealing with a credible person. I actually know one, but my broker actually has a pretty good connection to someone who can do that. And so I haven't gotten too far into depth myself in terms of finding credit repair people, but I'm on the lookout for them. So if you know anybody, or if anybody watches this and thinks they're a good credit repair person, definitely reach out to me, because I'm definitely looking for that, because I'm starting to get those kind of inquiries a lot about if I have a little bit of a credit issue. And so you can definitely go the credit repair route, and that will there will be some things that they can do. Of course, it costs money to do those things to help you, boost your credit over the course of 3 to 6 months, maybe a 3 to 9 month range, depending on how bad your credit is. But that's definitely an option. So credit repair. The other thing you can do is, whenever you're talking to a loan officer, a mortgage broker, whoever it is, they will often be able to help you, let you know what you can and can't do over the course of generally a short period of time, that can help you boost your AD, that can help you boost your credit score. The other thing a lot of people aren't aware of is that whenever you get your credit report, it doesn't cost anything to dispute things that you think don't belong on your report. A lot of credit repair companies will do that for you for a fee, but you can dispute them for free yourself. And going to check out Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion, they all have their websites. They all will give you access to your credit report. They may not give you access to your credit score, although legally you can get your credit score from each company free one time a year, which means that you can actually get your credit score for free 3 times a year from those 3 credit companies. So you should periodically be able to check your credit score without having to pay for getting it. Often, if the other thing is that if you have credit cards, sometimes there's quite a few credit cards out there that will also give you your FICO score as part of their service for you. So you can use your credit card companies if you have credit cards. Some of them do that. I know Capital One does that for me. I think Citibank even does it for me as well. I bank with Chase, and so Chase also just came out with they offer you the ability to get your credit score for free. Now I'm not sure exactly how that works yet. I have to look into it, but I just know I got it in an email that said that I could check my score through Chase. So there's 3 opportunities, 1 free from each major credit company: Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian, that you can get your credit score for free. So make sure you stay on top of that, not just for the purposes of buying a house, but just in general. It's good to know what your credit score is, where you're at. You know, if you are trying to improve your score, you can see, you know, the change that you've made over the course of 4 months and see how much it affected your score, you know, between the two. Now, obviously, we all know that the 3 credit companies, they all have different scores for you, and they all measure different ways. But generally speaking, you know, you'll have a decent idea of where your credit is. As far as credit scores and your ability to get a loan, Jennifer, if you're still there, maybe you can chime in. But I think the minimum score you're going to need to get a loan is at least 580 at a decent interest rate. 630 would be better. But when you get below 580, and it may even be 630, but when you get below 580, the interest rates go up really, really high, and it really becomes it may not be a very good economic decision to buy a home, you know, with your interest rates being sky high, because interest costs a lot. It costs a lot of money. As far as interest rates go, they are going to be probably increasing over the course of the year. So if you're in the market, you know, starting to think about getting a home, the sooner the better, just because they are anticipating. We already had one interest increase this year, and they're anticipating at least 1 or 2 more before 2017 ends. So if you are ready to buy a home and have been thinking about it or been on the fence, you know, it's going to probably be better for you to get into it sooner rather than later in terms of 2017, just because interest rates are anticipating to go up. So, you know, keep that in mind. I appreciate you guys watching. At any time, if you have questions, please jump in and just say something or ask a question, because I love questions. It helps me feel like I'm actually on the right track. So you guys chime in anytime. The other thing that I wanted to talk about, so how do you find a good deal on a house? That's another thing that a lot of people ask. Where are the good deals? How can you get a good house in a good spot for a great price and just get an awesome deal on a house? This is what it really comes down to for the most part. Now, there's always exceptions to the rule, and by all means, you can think you're going to be the exception, but it's rare. If you want to get a great deal on a house, it really comes down to a combination of 2 things, in my opinion. Number one, you need to buy a house that isn't perfect for you, meaning that it may not be the exact size you want, may not have the exact needs you're looking to fulfill. Maybe it doesn't have a formal dining room, or it doesn't have a formal living room, but you want one. It's not in the exact location that you wanted it to be. It's not the exact shape you want it to be. It doesn't have a pool. But hey, Melody, to find a good deal, generally speaking, those are going to be the homes that are on the market just a little bit longer, or they're going to be on the market for a very short period of time at a very low price, and chances are there's going to be competition for that home. So the homes that have been on the market for a while, for the most part, they're going to have some fault. They're going to be a little bit run down, or they're going to back up to an electrical wire, or maybe an apartment complex, or they're going to need some amount of work that the majority of people are not willing to put in. So the first part of buying, getting a good deal on a house is you're going to have to buy a house that's not perfect. It's going to be missing something. And then the second part of that is oftentimes the houses that are going to be the best deals are going to need work. They're going to be a foreclosure. They may be a HUD home, which is housing and urban development home. They kind of specialize in taking homes that were going to be a foreclosure and then trying to sell them to people who are not investors and who are actually looking to buy a home to move into. But usually they're kind of beat up. So first thing, the house is not going to be perfect in terms of location, size, shape, things like that. And the second thing is it's probably going to need work. And so if you're willing to take on those kind of projects, you're going to significantly increase your chances at being able to buy a home for a good deal and then make that home perfect for you through sweat equity or having someone come in and renovate it for you. So all the handy, people who are handy with doing some work around the house or fixing some things up, if you're willing to put in the work and find a home that's not quite right, maybe doesn't have everything you want, but you can get it for a better price, and then put your own, equity, your own sweat equity into it, then you have a really good opportunity to buy a good deal on a home and make it the way you want. And then whenever it's time for you to sell, 2, 3, 5 years later, maybe 10 years later down the road, you will definitely increase your chances for making a good profit on that home when it's time to sell again. So if you're looking for a deal, guys, you kind of have to be realistic about it's very hard to find the home of your dreams, and then the home of your dreams also be a home that's really, below market value. It just doesn't happen, especially right now in the Houston market at least. It's still technically a seller's market, which means that there's more people looking for homes than there are homes being sold. So generally speaking, there's a little bit of a competitive level to the home buying process. So if you're looking for that deal, you got to be willing to sacrifice a little bit of what you're looking for in order to possibly over time create what it is you really want in that home. And then other thing I wanted to talk about, I wanted to touch one more website. Oh, actually, it's the same website. Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs. They have there's a lot of good information on that website that talks about the different programs that are out there, how much they will contribute. For example, the My First Texas Home Program 79 that I talked about earlier, they are offering interest rates at 4.125%, and they're offering amounts of up to 4% of the loan amount in terms of down payment assistance and closing cost assistance. There's also other ones on there that you can look at and see, what is available to you. So Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs, great website to go to check out. The other one is obviously going to be the HUD website, which is it's HUD.gov. U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. They have a lot of good information as well, and you can check those two things out. If you have any questions about it, obviously let me know. And again, Jay, for everybody else, I'll put it in. I'll drop those websites after this is over, so you can check those things out. Great sources of information for if you're in the market for looking. I guess I'll touch on just the Houston market as I've seen it. A lot of people are. It's kind of crazy. Houston is so big, it's so spread out, and generally speaking, we're still an oil-driven industry, and so because oil prices are still kind of hovering in the $50 per barrel range, there hasn't been as much movement as we would like in terms of employment and activity amongst the oil companies in terms of hiring and stuff like that. So it's still a little bit of a slowdown, but for whatever reason, all the other economic parts of our industries, of our community, the Houston community, have been kind of keeping us afloat in terms of having a strong housing market, which has been really good. Overall, there's been an increase in sales from year to year in January and December, towards the end of the year, and even in January. Actually, not January, December, which is pretty good. So the housing market is still strong. I think over the course of the rest of the year, they're anticipating the oil industry starting to see a little bit of a creep back into prominence, and companies starting to hire. So I think overall the housing market in the the strength of our housing market will continue to increase. What that means is that there will be more buyers coming on to the scene, and maybe fewer homes being for sale. So again, if you're looking at buying in the near future versus maybe waiting a little bit longer, there's probably no better time than now to start that process. So that's really what I have. Edie, if you're in there, you need to, I know you said you had some questions for me. Go ahead and drop them in there. But I'll probably keep this one pretty short, guys. Just wanted to get that out there. If you guys have any questions, by all means, you can always email me, call me. Most of y'all that are watching, I appreciate it. I know you guys, so I know you guys have my contact information. In case you don't, John_Pierre04@yahoo.com. I'll post this on Facebook, obviously, so you can go back and read it, watch it again. And I'll put it on my blog as well, www.jpknowsre.com. Should be, hopefully I was able to, drop some good information in here. If you have, if there's parts of what I talked about that you'd like me to expand on further in the future, by all means, let me know. I will definitely do that. And then I'll probably do a flip video pretty soon here, because we'll probably start ramping that up again. So that's what I have for tonight. I appreciate you guys watching. I need to get my video situation figured out, because I don't like doing vertical videos. I like doing horizontal videos, so I'll figure that part out. And that will be it, guys. Short video tonight. Makes me feel good. 11:26. Y'all have 11:26 in Houston. You guys have a good night. Talk to y'all later. Bye.